So this is the London Hackspace. It was founded in the beginning of 2009, and now it's actually a little over 1,100 members. It might be 1,200 by the time that people actually view this. It is the largest in the world by membership, but not by space. There are a lot of facilities actually in the United States where the space is probably 3-4 times the size of this facility. We actually have 2 floors that we have wood shop, we have a sewing facility, we have metal shop, we have an electronics lab, 3D printing, laser cutting, amateur radio, classroom facilities, quiet rooms, and a lot more.
Well, let's start off here in the electronics area, where you'll see there's loads and loads of tools for soldering, desoldering, working with electronics. The 3D printer works on a simple model.
What is it? Sorry?
This is an industrial 3D printer that got, I believe, donated. Anything around the Hackspace is hackable. DNH is the concept of do not hack. You'll see DNH stickers on, for example, parts of the infrastructure. So there's one up there in the corner of that window, because fairly obviously you don't want to take the window out of use.
I think there's a lot of mainstream people that think, oh, it's just going to be like the North Koreans hacking Sony. It's all about sinister things. And really, hacking, the terminology stems back to the original use of the word, which is tinkering, getting involved. The way that I see a Hackspace is it's a cooperative community workshop.
It's really hard to find a definition that fits for everybody, because there are some people that join here for the company, there are some people that join here for software, for hardware. Usually it's a place where you can make stuff, whatever make and whatever stuff means for you. Here at the Hackspace, because everybody's actually working, is doing something, I feel guilty if I'm here and I'm not doing anything. In this space you have access to a lot of devices, a lot of machinery, for example, the laser cutter, the 3D printer, and it's all stuff that if you would have used it elsewhere, it would be extremely costly. This project, I'm not really sure how long it's going to take. As you can see, it's made of wood, and it's all laser cutted. What I'm trying to do with this one is basically having a sort of like dodecahedron that senses the users at different distances. So what it does is that you can provide continuous inputs virtually from every direction. And I think that this controller would be quite interesting for certain type of application, for example 3D modeling, where you can actually rotate an object or manipulate an object in every direction. Or some certain games where you can actually navigate in 3D space or something like that.
I joined Hackspace early November last year. At the moment, I'm making a desktop for a studio at my flat. When I joined Hackspace, I did the induction for the Playwood group, who are another bunch of guys and girls who do everything by hand, basically. And they're all learning as well. None of them are kind of experts at any of it.
When I first got here, there was no phone system. And I built the phone system and I actually augmented it. So for example, we have a backgate phone and it actually informs people on the online chat. And strangely enough, there was another member who's profoundly deaf. And he was actually thankful that this phone system actually worked, because before he wouldn't have been able to hear the doorbell, or he wouldn't have known people at the back. So I've actually been able to make some positive impact, which is fun. It's cool.
Wow. Bit lower?
So many members use the Oyster card as a way of going in and out of transport. So oftentimes when people have the Oyster card, what they'll do is, as a first member, they'll go to a kiosk and they'll register their Oyster card. And so then the first thing that they do, they go outside, they press their Oyster card against the wall and it lets them in. It's an economic way of being able to administer in access rights, especially in a 24-hour environment. Within the United Kingdom, I've not seen involvement from the government, but there are other Hackspaces in the world that do get very good treatment. For example, there's a Hackspace in the Netherlands that gets pretty much everything paid for, except for a small bit of their rent. For a facility that's much larger than this, they pay about €300 a month, which is quite a contrast to the rent alone in this facility being £6,875 a month. This Hackspace is a part of a network of other Hackspaces. In fact, if you just go to www.hackspace.org.uk, you'll actually see other Hackspaces that are a part of this particular network.
Hi, so this is TXRX Labs. We're Houston's hackerspace. We're a nonprofit hackerspace, probably the largest in the country that I know of. There are a few larger for-profit hackerspaces. We were established in 2008. We have about 300 members. And what else do you want to know?
Let's go for a tour.
Okay, let's do this. And then there's a combination of private member bays and classroom area here. Anything else? It started out as a nerd club with like 4 or 5 guys who rented a small space together. And as we've grown, we've become conscious of the demographics of the community and trying to incorporate more people. The main goal of TXRX is actually to bring complicated technological concepts to the people who don't have a technological background. All of our services are available to the public. You don't necessarily have to be a member to take a class, but members do get a discount on classes. We also have a large variety of public events, including our open houses, and also we have meetups here for renewable energy, virtual reality, and programming. All of our public meetups are free. There's no charge on any of those. There is charge in the classes, and then if you want to use the tools, then there is a monthly membership fee, which gives you access to any tool that you're trained on.
I would like to define the hackerspace as an incubator. It's either that or it's like a gym before your mind.
I call it NASA because the majority of the people I see when I come in are on computers, they're mathematical, they're working on things that I have no clue about. So to me, they're rocket scientists.
I made this lamp basically as a work lamp for my table here. I made this, I guess a work apron. Made it with I think this is 3 or 4 ounce leather, which is kind of thick, so you could technically weld with this on and it'd be okay. The tool that I mainly use for for this one is the laser cutter. It simplified the process a lot.
This hackerspace is important in my life because it represents it's how I wish the rest of the world would be. It's one of the most successful sort of anarchies I've ever seen, where if you come here, if you spend all your time repairing instruments and setting things up and teaching people, then you have a large say in how things go. No, it hates me.
I think implementation of the things that are learned is a lot more fluid. Like sometimes you'll see people doing something on a certain machine, and then just by osmosis or being by near it, you get more ideas, and that'll influence how you make more stuff. So I think there's a really good playback between the things that you want to make versus the tools that are available and the technologies that may not currently be available to you but are here.
I have a table saw, I have a chop saw, I have drills, I have sanders, I have all the things that are here I have at home. I come to the hackerspace because I learn how to use them properly, and I get the social aspect. Everyone wants to know what you're doing, and they want to pitch in, and if you have a question, they're available to answer if they know the answer.
I feel like the needs of every single place is going to be different. I feel like hackerspaces are very much a local phenomenon, and as a result, I feel like they resist the national chain model. TXRX is in communication with other hackerspaces in Texas. There's not any sort of larger network. That's something which I would actually like to try to bring to the future of hackerspaces, and I think that we're going to see that maybe some sort of larger online community. There's hackerspaces.org, which keeps a list of hackerspaces, but I'm thinking something more social style and less wiki style. For a while, we did have a teleconference between Austin Hackerspace and Houston Hackerspace, where we actually had a webcam with giant TVs and talked back and forth. But I mean, that wasn't terribly interesting, so we shut it down.